Alrighty, I think it's going. Yay! Okay, we are on day 2 of the 5-day abs challenge. So if you missed day 1, go ahead and pause this and catch up so you can do a little assessment. It's going to be really important for you to see kind of some of where you're at, where you're starting, as well as then you can share your answers, and then I'll be able to tailor, a little bit more about what we say so this helps you the most. Cool? Okay. So today, if you got the email, I hope. If you didn't, raise your hand, let me know. I might have messed up something on my end. There should be an email coming to your inbox. They're actually going out like the night before Central Time here anyways. That gives you a little quick information sheet, right? Those of you who have read it. Oh, Shannon's on, Elaine's on. Hey guys! If you've read the email, go ahead and let me know like how long it takes you to read it. It should just be a couple minutes. That's my goal. I want it to be short and simple, to the point, but also give you lots of information as well. As well as there's always the green box, and that's your exercise for the day. And I know breathing might not be what first comes to mind when you think of exercise. Am I right? Most of the time we think of like running or jogging or junking. Less than 2 minutes. Perfect. Something that really gets the sweat pouring, heart pumping, that's exercise, right? Well, when you're postpartum especially, but really for anybody, breathing can be exercise too. And I'm not going to read everything on that sheet because one, it's not in front of me and I don't remember it all. I mean, I do know it, but not on the top of my head, right? You breathe 20 to 25,000 times a day. That's a long time. And breathing is kind of like a massage, but a crunch, all mixed in together. So we're going to talk specifically today about just the inhale part. Because I found when we try to do it all at once, this goes on for way too long and there's a lot of questions. So we're just going to focus on the inhale today. And the cute little picture, it's kind of like a cartoon. I messed up on the back, so don't look through the side. It's a raindrop shape, right? Okay, so this is your breath coming in. What do you notice? It's coming down. Your breathing is your inhale. You want it to come down. And I used to call this a breath like baby. You want it to breathe like baby. When you think of your babies when they're tiny and they're sleeping so peacefully, how do you know they're still alive? Their bellies are moving up and down, right? Belly breathing is a good thing. You see this in yoga, and diaphragmatic breathing is a big part of any kind of singing or public speaking. Diaphragmatic breathing is nothing new. That's not the new part. But what I'm wanting to challenge you with here is a 4D or 4-dimensional inhale. Okay, so it's not just your belly. At some point we may have just talked about belly. But really, you want your breath to be moving in front. Here's my picture. You want it to be moving in front. This arrow is going in front, but it's also going backwards. To the sides, I counted those as 1 dimension. And also down. You want your breath to come down because your exhale is going to lift. Okay? We're going to talk about the lift part tomorrow, but I want this to be like a teardrop shape. I want you to imagine when you're breathing that it's making a teardrop. You're expanding through the front, you're expanding through the sides, you're expanding in the back, and you're expanding down into your pelvic floor. This is like that stretching, that massage, that really, if you've got tight low back, put your hands on your back and breathe into those hands. If it's not working when you're sitting, then that's when you want to try, especially the lying on your back. You can put your hands under your back when you're laying down, or you can put your hands on your back if you're laying sideways. Play around with this. Get to know your body, where your sticking points are. If you're like, I can't breathe into my back, or I breathe and my ribs don't move. That's okay. It doesn't happen for most of us right away because our diaphragm just doesn't work. When we're pregnant, our diaphragm can't contract. When your diaphragm actually contracts, it goes down. That's how I know your breath is supposed to go down. But when you're pregnant, it can't go down, right? So it kind of gets lazy. It's actually a little bit weaker a lot of times when you're pregnant, just because the range of motion isn't there. So it's not exercising to its full capacity. And so we really want to get the breath set up. Does that make sense? The inhale it's always a starting point, because when you can inhale, you're going to be able to exhale, because this breath goes where? It goes down, out, inside, and front, back. Yeah, it goes all of those ways so that your exhale can come up. Do you guys have questions on that? Those that you're on? Yay, lots of you are on. If anyone has questions on the breathe like baby, breath going down. So the 4 directions, front, side, back. I count the sides. All is one. Now, this is not pushing out. I don't want you to be pushing out with any muscles to make those parts of your belly move. A good way, if you're like, I don't think they're moving, is 1, watch yourself. Go in front of a mirror, turn your phone on the reverse camera, And just watch. Take some deep breaths, however you would normally do it, and see where do you see moving. You're not going to see your back moving, I guess, if you're facing it, but you can feel your back moving, or you might not be able to see your ribs moving. So put a little bit of pressure on them. That helps your brain be like, oh wait, something's there. It's like, when you're asleep and someone taps you, all of a sudden you're like, what? When your body gets that cues, those external cues, it helps it pay attention. So if you're wanting to breathe into this area, put a little pressure, put a little resistance. Use your hands, and same with your belly. Your belly is probably the easiest for most of us to breathe into because it's the softest area. But I have worked with several clients before who cannot breathe to their belly. It's almost like it's a mental thing. We don't want our bellies to get bigger. We don't want to let go of that muscle. And this is where, okay, there's going to be a whole bunch of little analogies coming at you. So sorry if it gets too much. When we were in Okinawa and we'd go snorkeling all the time, you see all the seagrass and it's going this way and it's going that way with the waves, right? And when you're practicing your breath, I would love for you to exaggerate it in that way. Again, you're not pushing it out, but you're letting your belly move, just like you'd see the baby's belly move up and down, open to the sides and close, because our bodies aren't meant to be held in. A lot of times I think we hold stress and tension sometimes, or we just are concerned about appearances, or we hold in our tummies all day, and then we restrict that breath. We restrict that ability to flow, and our bodies, our joints, it's really important for your spine actually too, to be able to move, to feel like your breath coming in and out. It's like little inside massages and stretching for all those muscles in your low back and even your abdominals. They work hard, but they have to get stretched, and your breath has that chance to stretch them all out. So think seagrass, whoosh, whoosh. But also, if you really want to take this to the next level, you can call it Elsa breath. You can tell our house is a little bit excited for Frozen, right? Elsa breath is like, let it go. You don't have to sing the song, although you can. Just let it all go. This is where, let the teardrop of air, let all the pressure come down. Everything's going to soften. Sorry, you should probably see this. Look at these arrows. I should have just left off the arrows. Sorry. Let it go. Like, let your body relax. Let your abdominals fill with air, because the better you can get this inhale down, and again, it might take a couple days of even trying just this, but you can try this anywhere, right? You can try it sitting, watching me talk. You can try it when you're driving. In fact, driving is when I practice breathing a lot. It's kind of stressful getting into the car and out the door anyways. It's a good time to tune back into that breath and to let your body fill. Plus, no one sees you when you're driving. No one sees from here down. They don't know what your tummy's doing. Or if I'm standing and cooking, it's a really good time. And then you might have seen one of the pictures. I'm going to wrap this up soon. So if you have questions, post them. I'll try and answer them live. If not, we're going to have time for more questions tomorrow too. But as far as, I just lost my train of thought. Breathing, driving around and stuff. And you might have seen the picture where it's like, what's coming up? And you were like, fat burn. She said something about fat burn. Yeah, this is the kicker. This type of breath, this diaphragmatic breath, again, this is nothing new. I'm not making any of this up, but it's linked to something called your parasympathetic nervous system. The opposite of that is your sympathetic. That's fight or flight. That's like, gotta take off. There's like an animal chasing me type of thing. And we tend to we want to have experiences in both, but when we're chronically in fight or flight, which I'm really yet to meet a mom who is not in the fight or flight a lot, right? Like, we're kind of always on. We're kind of always like, even if you're not feeling anxious, we're just still kind of always prepared. Well, the problem is our body needs quick energy when we're in sympathetic fight or flight. And so our bodies turn to carbohydrates only as its fuel source. So if you're craving a lot of carbohydrates, not saying that's the only cause, but your body's like, I need quick fuel. I can't break down this protein. I can't break down this fat. We got no time for that. So any extra fat that's stored on your body is not going to get converted into energy. It's kind of a bummer, right? If you're looking to lose fat. So the good news is with this breathing, it shifts gears. It helps your body go from this fight or flight, like we are primed, ready to go, literally fight or flight, into this parasympathetic, which is called rest and repair. I've heard it like rest and digest or something. It's where your body systems all repair. Your body's it's not at rest, but it's just easy going. It's more restful and repairing. It's when muscles will be rebuilding. It's where connective tissue can be strengthening. It's where digestion happens. So your body's not in a hurry, because changing fat cells to, or fat to like a metabolically active carbohydrate, a form of energy, ATP, it takes time and it takes energy. And your body only has time or energy when it's in this rest and repair cycle, this parasympathetic. So anytime you switch on this diaphragmatic breath, you switch over from that fight or flight to the rest or repair. And so your body can access its fat stores. I've seen some statistics where it's up to like 40% of the energy that your body is burning then when you're in rest and repair is fat, versus 100% carbohydrates in the opposite. So it might have been a little I just tried to take most of the confusing stuff out of it because it is hard to explain if you don't know the whole picture on it. And I don't want this to turn into like a chemistry lesson. But yeah, so extra bonus, if you're looking for like, I really don't want to just practice my inhales. Practice your inhales. Practice this teardrop shape. I'm going to hold it up again because so many of you are coming on, coming off. Teardrop shape. Breath comes down. It's your massage. It's going up front, the back, the sides, the bottom, because then your exhale is when it gets to come up. It gets to go that way. That's the exhale. goes whoop. So inhale it down. Picture even a teardrop in your body. And then exhale is going to come up. So we're going to talk about the exhale tomorrow. We're going to start at the very bottom with pelvic floor. But today I would love for you to practice. Do the routine that's in the challenge, in the daily challenge email. And then again, like the extra challenges are there from the 5-day trial of the first 6. If you want to do those, again, if you have questions, let me know. We'll address them outside of necessarily the challenge videos. But yeah, take today to focus on your inhales in all different types of positions. And let me know in the comments what is working. Does a certain position work better for you? Is this coming easy for you? Are you able to fill the front but not the sides? Can you feel your pelvic floor soften, just kind of melting away with your breath? Does the teardrop even make sense? I don't know. Are you singing Let It Go? Let me know how this works for you, okay? Because again, this is setting up the exhale, and the exhale is really what ties in pelvic floor and those deep core muscles. You can't get to those if we haven't done the inhale first. So thank you guys again for being here. I am super excited. Tomorrow's live. I'm also planning on possibly doing it later in the evening. We'll see. Keep an eye out. Keep on checking this, and then yeah, let me know how things are going. Thanks, you guys. See you tomorrow.